Paul Kehinde, my athlete, my legend. Paul Kehinde died of being hypertensive. This is the same sickness that he was banned, suspended from participating for 1 year. Paul Kehinde has, prior to this, he has tried taking his life twice because of the suspension, which I've been reaching out to him one way or the other. But this time around, I missed it because when they tried to contact me, I was at work. They couldn't reach me. Paul Kehinde has been through a lot of trauma. He has been through depression since the suspension. I would just want to throw some light to that. Before I even go there, that is the burial of Paul Kehinde you are showing. Did you see the way your country, Nigeria, buried a legend, a 4-time gold medalist, and a 2-time world record holder? That is a legend. That is Paul Kehinde's burial you are showing there. Paul Kehinde was buried like a beggar. Paul Kehinde was buried like a rat. A legend. What Nigeria don't understand is we're in the digital world. This thing you're showing, I've sent it to nothing less than 150 countries already. For the countries to see how a 4-time gold medalist was buried. Someone that flew Nigeria, that made Nigeria proud, 6 different occasions. This is how Paul Kehinde was buried. Paul Kehinde died on Thursday. Paul Kehinde was buried on Friday. Paul Kehinde left a wife battling cancer and 4 kids behind. A legend was buried, but the ministry that his title representing Nigeria, which is Ministry of Youth and Sport, not one person from Ministry of Youth and Sport was in Paul Kehinde's burial. When I send this to the countries, to the world body, to the international bodies, you know what they keep asking me? Were they burying an animal? I said no, that was Paul Kehinde, a 4-time gold medalist for Nigeria. Kehinde picked up gold medal. Paul Kehinde was tested. He tested negative. 2 months later, they went to Paul Kehinde's house, invited Paul Kehinde to be tested again. There was no competition going on. And then Paul Kehinde told them, I'm hypertensive. I'm taking my BP medication. Normally, when I'm about to compete or when I'm about to be tested, I stop taking my medication because it was definitely with this medication, I'll be showing that I'm doping or that I'm using drug or something like that. But they told him, don't worry, we'll let WADA know that you're on your BP medication. Just do the test. That was how Paul Kehinde tested positive.
All right, Queen Obo saying it the way it is, but what really hits the spot is the fact that the young man was denied care and attention by the sports ministry. That is allegedly, according to Queen Obo and others who think that way. But to put the record straight, we have joining us from Abuja the technical director, Nigerian Para-Powerlifting Federation, Dr. Joy Mayaki. She's joining. Dr. Mayaki, it's good to have you join us on Sports Extra.
Thank you for having me. It's nice to be your guest on this show. Thank you very much.
All right, Dr. Mayaki, let's start from the point of the neglect issue raised by Obo. Was the ministry aware of the situation with Paul Kehinde before he died? Was there any way the sports ministry was in touch with the athletes?
The issue of Paul Kehinde was that he actually has issue with doping issue. By April this year, I was given a letter from WADA giving him a provisional suspension. And for a provisional suspension, there are conditions, which mean he must not be seen around athletes, he must not be seen with the federation, and he himself was also copied with this letter. I think that was one of the main reasons why he was out of circulation. And as far as being neglected is concerned, Paul Kehinde is a staff of Delta State Sports Council. Even until his death, he was still receiving salary. Just last August, Paul Kehinde is one of the two athletes sponsored by Citibank of International, which means that Paul Kehinde got some money in dollars always from Citibank. Just this August, about 1 million naira was paid into Paul Kehinde's account by Citibank, coupled with the salary he earned from Delta State. So I don't really know the neglected part and the suffering part of it, where it actually come from.
As we speak, I know very well that the sports ministry is aware that the athlete is dead and has been buried. What role did the ministry play in his burial?
As far as the role is concerned, we from the federation and the ministry, ably represented by the secretary general, we were at the burial, and of course we took care of all burial expenses, including water, including transportation. All things that went on there was borne by the ministry. And so I was even surprised when Queen Obo was saying that no ministry representative was there. But let me tell you, the burial of Paul Kehinde was such in a hurry because, according to the brother, it is against their custom that Paul Kehinde is too young to be left alone, more also that the father is alive. They said they didn't even want the father to know that Paul Kehinde is dead, and so therefore they will have to bury him quickly. Even that day, we stopped that burial. They wanted to do it 8 o'clock the following day. We stopped it to make sure that every one of us was around. I was there as the TD, Coach Joma from Delta State, who is the chief coach, was there. The secretary general of the federation, who is from the ministry, was all there, and every athlete of repute shattered a bus, and we were all there. And if you look at that crowd, that mammoth crowd, for it to be termed as someone that is being buried is a chicken or a rat, I was baffled, and I don't know where she gets her information. And so you can ask, everything at that burial was bought by the ministry, because I was given the money to go there, and I was there, and some of these expenses were disbursed.
All right, the minister in charge of the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, has time and time again spoken of his love for Paralympians. Is there any demonstrable action from the minister that you want to let us in on, as far as putting that love, that supposed love for the Paralympians in perspective is concerned?
The Honorable Minister, as you are aware, has been a minister unlike it used to be, minister of football, but he has been a true gentleman and a minister to all sports. And that is evident by the performance of para sports at the Tokyo Games. And as I speak to you, the para table tennis has gone to their qualifying for the Olympics, and even powerlifting are getting ready to go to Tbilisi, Georgia. All these are being facilitated by the ministry, even in this crunching time, and we can't thank him enough for all his understanding and his encouragement and support to parasports throughout the whole sporting world, especially as concerned our country, Nigeria.
And finally, I want to come to this now. Paul Kehinde, no doubt, is a fallen hero, a legend who gave his all for the nation and should be respected, honored. What plans are there from the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development to actually make sure that those he left behind, his wife, children, and we hear his wife is not in a very good state of health at the moment. What plans are there for the sports ministry to do? What is the sports ministry doing to help those he left behind?
No, Paul Kehinde wasn't sick. It was very impromptu. We weren't expecting that from him. And it has happened, and it caught us all unaware. I think along the line, the federation will have to sit and will come up with some recommendations, and we'll go that way first, because first and foremost, the federation, it is the responsibility of the federation, and whatever is beyond us, such recommendation will then be made to the ministry.
All right, we want to thank you very much, Dr. Joy Mayake from the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, for your time with us on Sports Extra this day.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for having me. It's nice to be with you. Thank you very much for your understanding. Thank you.
All right, thank you so very much. All right, you're still